All right, so your dad was really nice with you. Y'all would wrestle and play around and stuff like that. One of his favorite characters is Superman. So you get you Superman stuff, you know. And then he used to do music back in the day, so he would play his music for you. Like Thaya, Thaya used to be singing his music and stuff like that. So y'all had a good relationship. You was his baby boy. You know what I'm saying? You was baby boy. You was his youngest boy. And he had a lot of affection. I saw a softer side of him with you. I saw a softer side of him with you. That's y'all right there. Y'all fell asleep. Elmo came from his best friend. Gave it to you from his son, and you fell in love with it ever since. Y'all was actually in here wrestling and then started playing the Xbox and fell asleep on the floor.
Oh,
and this is when we were staying in Romulus at the time. And I thought that was weird. I was like, we got beds in the room. Like you had on your own room at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what are y'all doing? So, yeah, that was really sweet. So yeah, see how he was very sweet, very cuddly with you. He was a baby boy. You know what I'm saying? It brought out like a very soft side to him. So although things happen over the years, that look on your face, you always looked up to your dad. Okay? So when he took you out for your birthday, and that's your little sister right there, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Right there. So y'all had a good time. Okay? And that's the story of me and your dad.
How did you meet with Bella and Layla's dad?
I met Clay. Okay, I've always called him Clay. I met Bella and Layla's dad when I was 28. I was 28. I was about to be 29. I met him in like in the summertime, because you was about 14, 15 months when I first met him. And your dad was broken up. Again, remember he was with the girl, you know, who he was with her. And so it was like the real ghetto baby mama, baby daddy thing. Like, whatever, you moving on, I'm moving on too. But I didn't really move on. So I was just like a lone wolf, like, you know, raising my son, having a good time. And he would see you when he could at the time. And I met Clarence. He ended up moving into the same apartment complex. He was working there. And I remember when I used to see him, he used to be riding on the little go-kart thing. And I used to always think to myself, because I used to be like walking back, like I would walk you in a stroller. Across the street, it was a Kroger's. And I was getting WIC at the time. And I would walk over there and get the juices and the milk and stuff like that. And I would be walking back and I would always see him zipping in and out, you know what I'm saying, doing work. And he used to always be like hunched over when he drive like this. And I used to always say to myself, like, wow, he's cute as hell. He just looked like he mean, like he just never smiled like, you know what I'm saying? But he was really cute, you know. So yes, that's Clarence right there. So Clarence was a very, very quiet man. He was a little different than you guys' dad. Your dad was like very brash and you know, blaze people and like life of the party was really fun. Whereas with Clarence was the exact opposite. He was really quiet and really like off to himself. And you would kind of be wondering like, what is he thinking? And then to me, there's different reasons why you're attracted to different people. Like I was attracted to your dad off his personality. Yeah. He was just fat out fine to me. Just looked fine. It's like, oh my God, but he was just mean and quiet, you know?
Did Clay know his dad?
No, he did not know his father. And I think, you know, we attract to the different people for different reasons. And I think it kind of had a similar effect that it had on my father, where it made him kind of like emotionally distant a little bit. Like kind of a bit of a mystery. You know what I mean? He was quiet. He was quiet too. So you kind of pick up on characteristics of your parents or parental figures, and you end up looking for some of those good and bad traits in people that you end up encountering in your life. And so, no, he did not. He had a relationship with his mom. He was hurt in his childhood when he was a little younger, and he had women that surrounded him and helped him. He ended up moving down south, so he ended up being a Southern boy, similar to y'all dad, which is weird.
Oh.
Both of them ended up moving down south and was being raised by their grandparents for a little bit. So they was like Yankee, Southern country Bamas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's an interesting fact about him. So I believe with him, you know, being hurt like that in his childhood and then not really knowing his father kind of made him emotionally distant. But nevertheless, he actually got with the older lady, and a lady that's older than me. They both older than me. And he had 2 daughters by her, 2 biological daughters, but she had already had 6 kids. Yeah. When he met her, she had a 2-month-old son, and he raised all of those kids like his kids. So see how it reminds me like of remnants of my father and my stepfather? Yeah. My stepfather raised me and my brother like we was his kids, and he did the same thing. He's still in those children. It's like they all grown. They all honor him. They love him. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And so that's what kind of made me start liking Clay. I would see him when I would be in and out with you because me and your father was on and off, and sometimes he wouldn't see you, sometimes he would. You know how it is. Yeah. It was really baby mama, baby daddy thing. And I would always see him down there with his grandkids and with his kids. All the time, because he's older than me, like 17, 18 years older than me. Okay? So he's always around with his grandkids. And it really was just nice to see that a man do that.
When did y'all have Bella and Layla?
We had Bella and Layla in 2016, and of course he was surprised because he hadn't had kids in like 25 years. I was a little young thing. I think he got kids that's older than me. So he was looking like, what is this? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? And so I was smitten with him. He was older, but he would act younger. He was like mature, but he would have like a young guy swag. It was very confusing. So both him and your dad are older than me. And so we ended up having our babies. And of course he was surprised. And then he, it took him time to get used to it, but he just fell in love with the girls. And he's been in their life ever since then. So we decided not to be together because we tried. But he's very closed off, very quiet. And he likes things a certain way. Remember we went to his house? Yeah. He like I'm clean, but he's like real clean. You know what I'm saying? So he's just older. He likes stuff in a certain way. And I'm way younger than him with all these babies. So he got a girlfriend. The same as what your dad. Your dad is married, and they married women that are closer to their age. So I will tell you that. That's my Father's Day message for you. Even though I'm very happy that I have you guys, it would be good to probably give with somebody your own age. Okay, because they was like, girl, you too much. Okay. Oh, that is the story of Antonio Allen. Okay, Antonio Lemons. His middle name is literally Lemons Allen. Oh. I just call him Lee, Papa Lee, Daddy Lee, Black Satin. Hey, yo. I'm not getting bad. I'm just saying I did used to call him like all sorts. Tonio Coleon, like off of The Godfather. It was ridiculous. Like I never called him his name. And then we have Clarence Santana Hall. Okay, but sometimes I would call him Satan when he would get on my nerves because his middle name. See what I'm saying? Too young. They was like, you immature. So yeah, I was because I was younger than you. So, and then Clay, I like to call him Clay or whatever. And so, or the man when I don't really, when we upset, I mean, that's the man over there. Go with your father. That's the man. So, I wish them the best. They got with older women that are over the hill, and women that are 50s, 40, 49, 50 something. So they needed to get with somebody their own age. So I'm happy for them. But I'm happy that I was able to bump into them and meet them because I got y'all. So happy Father's Day to Antonio Lemons Allen and to Clarence Satana Hall. Please.